Oh yeah, and we're excited to play with a decent amount of these that are going to be on the ranked ladder. The rest of them will be in quick match, but this is our last game of the day. Game number 7, Jeanne d'Arc, Marine Lord in the red on the eastern side. Beasty playing as the Order of the Dragon yet again in the color yellow. Core is highlighting over this pond right smack dab in the middle of Himiyama. And it looks like for Jeanne d'Arc, for Marine Lord, we're going to see a dock. So he does think that the wood income that you need to get this dock and some fishing boats, a little bit of delay in Feudal, is worth it for how many shoreline fish. And, you know, Crackedy, I'm kind of on the same boat as you, pun intended, because we're on a dock. The jury's still out for me. I'm not really sure what the best play is here.
It's gonna be left to see then. MarinelorD is going for that dock play. Beasty just going for the standard feudal age approach with Order of the Dragon. We saw it working out really, really well earlier on Rocky River, where Order of the Dragon just absolutely managed to dominate with kind of ignoring water early on and then massing up a lot of units in the feudal age and trying to push out, get the dock denial going on, and the archers just doing an absolutely beautiful job there of taking down the fishing ships. And I think something similar might be happening in this game potentially here.
Yeah, and I think just because it is in the middle and there's only that one pond, it makes it a really potent point of interest in order to try to take down. So having the ability for Beasty to do that, maybe he does go, just like you said, in the Gilded Archer department. Taking a look at, we kind of focused on the pond a little bit, taking a bit in account the other 95% of this map, pretty much. To me, it kind of feels like, just because you're up on a hill like this, it gives me prairie vibes.
Yeah, the map is certainly quite a bit open now. You do have some woodlines there that are not like you don't have these very tiny woodlines. So there are some larger woodlines out on the map that you can access. We see once again Archon Chapel coming out from Beasty. He's gonna be boosting both the sheep, the woodline, as well as potentially the stone outcropping there. And looks like it's gonna be a 2TC play out of him here once more.
Yeah, he really likes the 2TC out of Order of the Dragon. We saw it in our last game as well. Obviously, it's a different map, this one being a little bit more open. Kind of curious in terms of where he does end up wanting to put up that second town center. And notice how many villagers he's actually using on the Acend Chapel. He's got 4 dragon villagers on that thing. So it will go up rather quickly. We're going to see probably one of the fastest feudal age times that we have so far, just because of the fact he didn't go for water as well. And this means with that chapel getting that extra gathering speed, he's going to get that town center at light speed.
Yeah, and right now, Archon Chapel, it's going to be a roughly 3 minutes 30 age up, which is very, very quickly, as you mentioned. I think it's similar to like a 6 or 7 villager age up for normal Denmark. Actually, it's 325, 6, 7. Yeah, it's pretty much 330 on the dot. There we go. It's gonna be a very fast second TC as well. All of the villagers boosted, as you said. Gonna be have a very, very fast gathering rate here. School of Cavalry now being built by Jeanne d'Arc. It's gonna be able to farm a lot of experience. Something cool that BC did here, by the way. He's not doing it right now. Actually, no, he is going for it once again. He's killing the wolves. That is very, very important when you play against Jeanne d'Arc. Usually we'd only really do that against the Roots to deny some bounty. But here you do it to potentially deny Jeanne d'Arc from getting experience. It's 12 experience per wolf, 40 for each boar. So every little bit adds up. Getting those wolves down means that you're able to play a little bit longer against level 2 Jeanne d'Arc before she eventually reaches that horse stage and is able to summon up some very, very dangerous units that you don't necessarily want to fight against.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just with the boars like you talked about, I mean, those are kind of your full dollars, but your wolves are your nickels and dimes. You know, I mean, if you, as Beasty, with your scout, if you're able to take down, 3, 4 wolves, 4 wolves can equal just about the cost of how much XP you would get out of a boar. So all of that XP really, really adds up. And we know for Jeanne d'Arc, when she's not doing something as a soldier in feudal age, there's only a minuscule amount of XP that she goes up. So being able to really bolster it with a lot of these outside animals, a lot of these Gaia animals, is really, really important. You can see her tick by 4 while she's continuing to build it. A couple villagers are actually going to help her out, make sure she doesn't do all the work herself. But being able to farm on this school of cavalry again, like this is the stereotypical build order for Jeanne d'Arc. You've got to get her on that landmark.
I want to call something out. Something very, very important is happening right now. Beasty, he's walled in the boar. 2-layer, actually, no, it's only one. One of these walls, it's not connected to the entire woodline there. But he's walled in the boar with 1 layer. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there. But the boar is walled in, so Jeanne d'Arc is going to have a difficult time when it comes to getting the experience. But MarinelorD did not go for the melee path on Jeanne d'Arc. He went for the range path, so she probably doesn't even care about the walls. He can just shoot over the wall.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's something MarinelorD scouted. I wasn't really sure if I saw a red scout over in that particular area, and it looks like no. He has no idea what's going on. I don't think he even knows that boar is there. But now that Jeanne d'Arc is a hunter, I guess we could talk about a little bit the difference between her being a woman at arms and her being a hunter. Instead of that AoE effect, and you're taking a look at what core is hovering on the Q, she gets Divine Arrow. In Feudal Age, or in level 2, I should say, Jeanne targets an enemy and fires a Divine Arrow that deals 40 damage. And I'll tell you what, some people might think woman arms is better. Some people might think the hunter is better. But I think the most satisfying thing about Jeanne d'Arc is using that Divine Arrow and headshotting somebody. It's just the sound it makes, too. I think the AoE 4 and the devs hit the nail on the head for this one.
It's a very, very crisp sound. So you trade out some AoE for some more single target damage. And the very, very cool thing about it as well is once you get Jeanne d'Arc up to level 4, the ability scales with her level. Look at that. Almost manages to get the villager out down there. It scales with her level. So at level 4, it actually does 150 damage. Mm-hmm. That is enough to one-shot Springles without the Siegeworks upgrade.
Yeah, because I mean, even though it's quote-unquote ranged at that point, and I think at level 4 it's considered siege damage, so it wouldn't get the ranged armor, wouldn't really apply to it anyway. Still, being able to take down a Springald like that, we know how important Springalds are. We know how important siege superiority. Just having one person, you hit a Q button and all of a sudden the Springald pops. It's incredible display. Now Beasty trying to get a little bit of trouble for this second town center for MarinelorD. He pulls a boar over, and it looks like some of those villagers are going to get caught by that boar. These are not dragon villagers. Those are normal villagers. Thankfully, one of the only soldiers that the French province has right now, one of the Royal Knights, is going to be able to help him out in that department as well. Got to make sure, though, with that scout, I think it might end up going down from that knight, so a little bit of lack of visibility, while Jeanne d'Arc on the other side is just continuing to brain havoc on the woodline of Beasty. Really good use of the signal arrow, and probably some consecration we're going to see soon too.
Yeah, now MarinelorD, he doesn't want to immediately kill that boar there. He wants to wait until Jeanne d'Arc is going to be in range in order to get the bonus experience from that. Beasty now also putting up an outpost on his gold, wants to make sure that he is going to have safe access to gold there. Spearman might go down to a TC. He has a lot of bonus HP though, so probably not going to go down to a TC. Knights, though, getting some good charges on him there. Take him down. Only one hit going on that knight.
And that's the difficult thing with Order of the Dragon, right? I mean, there's one spearman that you spend a lot of resources in. If you get that caught in a spot where you don't want it to be, and that goes down, a lot of your resources gets buried with it. And even though there were 3 knights there, and that one spearman is a super duty spearman, we'll say a Giga Chad spearman, not going to be enough for how many knights that are there. So a little bit of resources down. Now, military count for Beasty is a little bit higher just because of the fact the population is for 2 each. And we're seeing a rather common thing against the French, just spearman, horsemen.
Okay, now Jeanne d'Arc, she did go for the range path, which means that she will be taking bonus damage from the horseman there. So the hardened spearman, gilded spearman, having just so much HP, it's going to be really, really tough for Jeanne d'Arc as a single archer on the field right now to take him down. MarinelorD is investing into additional archers. More production buildings coming up. Consecrate, I think he already used it once. Now the boar is going to get taken down. That's some bonus experience now for Jeanne d'Arc. Plus 50 experience. It's a total of 500 to be able to get to that next level.
And even gets, as you could see too, even got the heal off on some of those knights. Was able to take a little bit of damage away from one of those spearman hits, the gilded spearman hits that we saw a little bit ago. Now, MarinelorD is starting to increase his archer population. You know, he's got about 6 and a couple in the queue as well. And you got to think with the spearman, just because I think it's 180 total health, you're exactly right, like you said before. There's going to be a lot of divine arrows that go into one single spearman, so it's good that she has some archer compatriots to help her out.
It's a lot of horsemen though right now. I think this is going to be a very, very good fight here for Beasty. First knight gets taken down very quickly by these spearmen. MarinelorD, I feel like he underestimated the amount of units here for Beasty, and he's going to get slain. I think, yeah, Jeanne is going to go down here very quickly. That's Jeanne down. And the spearman just so much HP. The archers dying very, very quickly to these gilded horsemen.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's great about these horsemen too? Just because of how much health they have, they get a charge against those royal knights. The first horseman finally goes down just because of how much health they have, even though they don't necessarily have melee armor. They don't trade that badly.
Yeah, and this is just... I think this is really how Order of the Dragon is meant to be played. Like, you don't go for the default HRE kind of strategies where you go for, like, really, really fast castle age. You gotta get some units out of the map. You gotta make use of these really, really strong units, and you gotta need them. You gotta need them in big numbers. If your opponent's able to like completely outmass you with like a 4-to-1 ratio, then even the Order of the Dragon superior stats don't really make up for it. You want to really play the ball of like having that better economy and being able to make up for that increased cost, but still being able to mass up a ton of them. MarinelorD is on the back foot, 25 military to 13 right now. Beasty is transitioning into archers as well.
Yeah, I think now with how many horsemen that are there, I think MarinelorD realizes that Royal Knights might not be that DPS unit against those horsemen like he really wants them to be. And he's going to be adding spearmen there at the same time. So we are going to see rock, paper, and scissors out of both of these players in Feudal Age. And that's what makes Feudal Age so great. Now, MarinelorD, instead of taking a fight with horsemen, he's going to take a fight with dragon villagers. And those villagers ain't doing much in the way of fight. And it looks like 2 of them end up going down, and there's a counter raid on the other side. Beasty on the eastern side, north of the starting town center, before MarinelorD gets a couple villagers down. It looks like 4 total. And Crackedy, just because of how spread out this gold mine is, how spread out that wood line is, it's good raiding territory.
Definitely a spearman for Beasty now in position, blocking those knights from being able to cause any more havoc there for now. Looks like MarinelorD, he's really trying to go up to the next age as well behind it. Has a lot of food in the bank, just needs the gold now to be able to click up here. Beasty, he's also not too far off, roughly 1 minute of him just not producing any more units, and he'll be able to click up as well.
Yeah, it looks like both of these players are kind of starting to get to that area. I think Beasty now just started to queue up some gilded archers, which is more wood than anything, but that'll be able to help him out. MarinelorD still, maybe it was because his gold was rated a little bit before. He's been on that 1200 food or whereabouts, that 1200 food for quite some time. He just needs that gold to get there, and I think Castle Age is really going to help him out against the superior units of the dragon.
Beasty right now is in a very, very good spot as well, economic-wise. 55 villagers compared to 58, but his villagers are 25% more efficient here. Players research a lot of the economic upgrades behind it all. Both players have wheelbarrow and horticulture. Chivalry now also coming in. I'm not sure about Chivalry right now. Sure, the knights are weak and they need some healing, but if he cancels Chivalry now, he'll be able to click up to the next age.
Yeah, I think that's something that he should be thinking about doing. And plus, as Core hovered over Jeanne d'Arc's one ability of Divine Restoration, to be able to heal some of those knights a little bit as well. So Chivalry, you might be able to hold off on it just a little bit, just because of what Jeanne d'Arc can do. But Guildhall does come up for MarinelorD. He's got 16 villagers on it, and we'll see what resource he chooses to do. But wants to take a fight in Feudal in the meantime. You know, if you take a fight around where Beasty's base is, it means you can go to castle pretty much unharmed, but you got to make sure your army doesn't get killed in the process, because there's a lot of upgrades you need to buff these guys up with.
Emergency repair could be coming in on that blacksmith. Doesn't come in. That's going to be 15 experience. Oh, horseman raids at the same time, though. Once again, villagers do get taken down. Spearman from MarinelorD arrive. It's only 2 though, but a lot of these horsemen are weak. MarinelorD chooses to fight with the villagers as well. Loses 1 probably. 1 villager goes down, but 4 horsemen go down as well.
Yeah, not a very effective trade for Beasty. I really like what he does, and a lot of the top high-level players, such as yourself, Crackedy, like to do this, where you can get a circle around one of those horsemen with the villager so it doesn't have anywhere to go, and that's a lot of resources going down. Again, we talk about it over and over again with the Order of the Dragon, but every unit that you lose is very, very important. And now, MarinelorD is going to try to up his own quality as compared to the Order of the Dragon, trying to get some of these veteran upgrades. Now, the Order of the Dragon army is right by that secondary town center for MarinelorD, and he is consistently, Beasty is consistently harassing gold, both gold veins. I think he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, indeed. The villager count still very, very even here. That's not where you want to be when you're playing as Jeanne d'Arc. Now, next fight could be happening soon. I think this is probably the best time for MarinelorD to take a fight here. Upgrades are coming in on his units. Archers aren't upgraded yet. Gonna be doing a lot of bonus damage, though, to those spearmen. This could be potentially a lot of experience coming in for Jeanne as the villagers get sniped.
Now we're seeing the +6s of all of those villagers going down. MarinelorD, those not to overextend maybe too much, is going to back up. But yeah, you're exactly right. That archer upgrade needs to come in pretty soon, because you can take a look at Beasty's army composition. He only has spearmen and archers. You know, I mean, MarinelorD, he has 10 spearmen, but they're not necessarily going to be doing too much. On the other side, Beasty feels like he's safe enough to go up to Castle Age, and that's what he's going to be doing. He's going with the Regnus Cathedral. He has 1 relic that's guaranteed safe on that wall that we pointed out to over there on the northern side. The rest of them, though, not really much in the way of map control. I think it's going to be a struggle for him to get these relics.
And behind that, Beasty is now also investing into some of the gilded men-at-arms. It's Cathedral about to be finished. I'm still a little bit on the fence right now about MarinelorD not upgrading his archers. Oh, he's going for his own men-at-arms. That's interesting. That is actually very interesting. The cool thing here for the men-at-arms from Jeanne d'Arc is that Jeanne d'Arc is able to consecrate not just archer ranges and stables, but also barracks and siege workshops. That means that you can get some really, really cheap men-at-arms out as well. One of the barracks is consecrated, so it's only going to be 75 food for every single men-at-arm coming out of that one.
Yeah, that's 75. I mean, men-at-arms are particularly food. You know, usually at base value, they're 120. So being able to take down that food, and it gives you a little more flexibility with Jeanne d'Arc as compared to the French. And you don't need to make your production buildings in a nice little square for a keep to go around to. That keep influence, it's not there. We're only consecrating.
Oh, Monk gets picked off. Pearl from Beasty is going to be securing that relic. So far, MarinelorD has already secured 2 relics, so there's not too many left for Beasty to get at this point in time. Looks like MarinelorD wants to deny that relic. Archer's a little bit out of position. Wallalow coming in. MarinelorD not in a position to deny that relic right now. Defensive Wallalow saves the prelate, and with that, MarinelorD has to disengage for now.
Yeah, did you see that little stutter step out of the veteran Royal Knights too? It looked like there was a little bit of indecisiveness, trying to get that charge, but it probably would have been a photo finish, and you know that this game is sure to be over if the Order of the Dragon gets 8 veteran Royal Knights to bolster their military prowess. And based on how much military they have, I mean, we know the amount of units is pretty much the same, but 76 to 34. And this is the really wacky thing, honestly, about talking about Order of the Dragon, because you're seeing a 2-to-1 difference, but MarinelorD's the one who's being the aggressor.
Something I want to point out right now is that Beasty, as the Order of the Dragons, his men-at-arms actually don't get the bonuses from normal HRE. He doesn't get the heavy maces, he doesn't get the two-handed maces upgrade, the two-handed upgrade. So his men-at-arms actually don't get anything other than the bonus stats that all the Order of the Dragons units get against other units. So, like, the men-at-arms from MarinelorD actually stand a chance within mass to take good trades against the men-at-arms from Beasty.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's difficult for somebody who's seen HRE for almost 2 years now wrap your head around the fact that the only thing that's with these men-at-arms is the fact that they're gilded. You know, I mean, Beasty doesn't have Mindwarp Palace either, so any kind of unique technologies, I know there's a unique technology for the Lance Connect in Castle Age, so he's not going to have the availability to do that either. Now, MarinelorD, with his army composition, is adding more arbaletier. I guess he saw a couple men-at-arms. He knows what's going to provide the firepower through some of that gilded heavy armor, and that's going to be it. Look at this game sense from MarinelorD. Didn't scout this area, knows that a relic would probably be somewhere around here just because of where the other relics spawn. Just really good game sense getting that third relic, and now only Beasty is going to have that too.
It's going to be 3-2 in the relic count, so not the biggest accomplishment here with the Regnus Cathedral. Beasty has a lot of food in the bank, not so much gold right now. It's like Siege is soon coming out for MarinelorD, as he already has a Siege Workshop prepped behind all of this. Beasty needs roughly 500 more gold to go up with the Regnus Cathedral. Not Regnus Cathedral, Swabria.
I was going to say, you can see the Aachen, the fields of Aachen are already there, and we saw it in last game as well, but whether it's an Aachen Chapel for the Dragon or HRE, getting farms around there is your best ticket, and you can see how much food per minute he gets from those farms that are pretty much infinite. MarinelorD is continuing to pump castle age units, so now we're seeing a derivation between these two mindsets. Beasty's thinking about Imperial with the 1900 food, and as soon as I say that, he queued up about 10 different units and thinks now completely differently.
Looks like Beasty knows that there are villagers nearby for MarinelorD, but MarinelorD, he's hiding the villagers in the corner here. It's not been scouted out yet. Now he knows. And with that, is he going on there? No, the army is coming just in time for MarinelorD. He bought the necessary amount of time that he needs, and now fight is going to be happening. Jeanne d'Arc is in her mounted form. We see that the 3 units have already come out for her. With that, fight is going to be happening, and it looks like this might be a cleanup now for MarinelorD as he cleans up the army from Beasty, and with that, a ton of experience is going to go over for Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah, there were so many knights, and they're still making this front line. They were able to wrap around.
Out of range, no experience. Jeanne d'Arc is out of range. She has a lot of armor here, actually. She could take the fight. I think she has 2 armor in her... Actually, no, it's only 1 armor in the range. Oh, so be careful, though. Oh, that was a quick takedown.
Wow. All of those gilded spearmen just wrapped around Jeanne d'Arc like that. And now, without their fearless leader, MarinelorD is backing up.
To keep up on the gold there, as he originally planned. This is still a fight that he could potentially take. He's got a lot of armored units there. A couple of crossbows out there, though. They do 36 damage each shot against armored units, which is quite a bit at this point in stage. It has a ton of units in the queue right now. I just want to wait until he gets them out. Oh, knights go onto the archers. Spearmen, a little bit stuck on the men-at-arms there. A couple of archers got taken down. More reinforcements coming in now. Crossbowmen aren't in the fight here anymore, so the men-at-arms actually do a pretty decent job against all the remaining units there. 23 arbaletier in the queue right now for MarinelorD. It looks like Beasty has changed his mind when it comes to going up to the Imperial Age.
Yeah, I think because of how that fight went with him, you know, I mean, it wasn't a real decisive victory for him, you know, where he felt like he can rest on his laurels and go Imperial. MarinelorD, now the turns have tabled here with this one, and MarinelorD's going to be going with Imperial Age, going to be getting that nice, juicy red palace right next to that northern sacred site. And again, going Imperial, being that age up on the dragon means you have a little bit more quality. But there's a Mango, and there's a lot of villagers, Crackedy. It looks like they got to get out of harm's way. Mangonel's going to target, trying to get the villagers, ends up hitting his own mill at the same time. But now, this Mangonel going to be able to try to get its rocks off, taking down a couple villagers over there on the south end of the keep. And look at what Beasty's doing, just scattering some of those villagers. Another Mango shot comes in on the western side. These are dragon villagers, so they have a little bit more HP. You got to think, a lot of them probably would have went down, if not half of them would have ended up going down. And the fact that they have that extra technology with them too, they're 98 health villagers. And the reason why that keep got up was because of that.
Red Palace, 15 units inside. Lots of damage coming out, and they're taking down the reinforced outpost with the Red Palace. Crossbowmen take down the Mangonel there for MarinelorD. And right now, it feels like Beasty is he's a little bit on the back foot. He does have a good enough eco count right now. 95 villagers. They are stronger, or rather, they gather faster than MarinelorD's villagers. So his economy should be not in a bad position when it comes to aging up sometime soon here behind all of this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think for Beasty, he'll be able to do that eventually, but his military count isn't exactly, I don't think it's exactly at the level where he necessarily wants it. You know, I mean, Marine Lord, just because he did go Imperial, he's going to have the ability to pump out a lot of units. He's getting his upgrades, which include the elite arbaletier. So he's going to be going into that unit for the majority of Imperial Age that we see a lot of French counterparts do, their parent civs do. Now, I feel like if he stops making units and goes up to Imperial, he can get steamrolled.
And it's a very difficult position for him to be in right now. I mean, if we look at the military count, in theory, with every single military unit counting as 2, he's not in a bad position. But does he know that? Does he know that? I mean, having these fewer units, I'm not sure. This is a very tough spot right now to be in, and
yeah,
take a
honestly,
look at the map as well. There aren't any 8k gold mines here. It's all only small gold mines. So the gold runs out very, very quickly here on this map.
yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't. It's scattered all over the place. I think it's difficult for us to call or give any kind of, you know, hint at where this game is going because I don't know about you, but Order of the Dragon and Jeanne d'Arc, I haven't seen this matchup in Imperial or post-Imperial yet. I'm not sure which one's better than the other one. I do know, however, out of these keeps that Marine Lord is making, both the Red Palace and otherwise, you could make some of Jeanne's units, but a fight coming in with a couple rams trying to take the relics out of Marine Lord's monastery right next to that secondary town center. Now, secondary town center did get nerfed a little bit, but still has those arbaletier upgrades, and Beasty finally going up to Imperial Age, going to be getting the Elsbach Palace just because he's got enough villagers. So hopefully he can get some really elite units, elite gilded units to try to take down what Marine Lord's got going on. But his military count now for the first time, probably since the infancy of this game, is now shifting to Marine Lord.
Elsbach is going up. Marine Lord, look at that. He's been placing a lot of additional town centers. All of these are getting the Red Palace emplacement. So they kind of function as pseudo keeps that are also able to produce villagers, which kind of like means that any raids coming in now, Marine Lord is going to be able to very quickly replenish his villager count. First keep does go down. Elsbach still going to be up, and look at that. Outpost going up there outside of the range of the Red Palace. This one is going to get upgraded with the cannon placement.
Yeah, that Elsbach Palace, probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing, just because of its Gothic architecture, you know, and the amount of damage it can really put out, especially with that bombard upgrade. So BC's shoring up his gold nodes. He's shoring up some of his resources that he definitely needs. Marine Lord on the other side, he does have a decent amount of gold income and does have that guild hall helping him out with stone. So he will have a lot of stone. He'll be able to basically just disperse keeps, town centers all over the place for that arbaletier upgrade that you talked about.
Right now, Beasty is going to be losing that Siege Workshop. Roller Shutter Triggers is about to come in from it. He's able to repair it with a lot of villagers, so the upgrade comes in with that. He's going to have a range advantage. He might be able to take down some of these trebuchets now from range, and now the cannon placement comes in on the outpost there, showing Marine Lord is going to have to retreat from that gold mine.
Yeah, it's the only resource node that he hasn't really shored up too much. So to keep behind it, the Red Palace is behind it, but that's not really going to do too much. Now, Prelate, with a little bit of a conversion, a little bit of a Wolo, trying to stall this battle out just a little bit, getting their Springolds to safety. But now those elite Arbaletier and Jeanne d'Arc on the back end, trying to find this relic, trying to get this Prelate down, try to deal with it. But just because of how many units the Order of the Dragon has right now, just because of their ability to deal with some of these Arbaletier, they got to back up. And if you're looking at where Marine Lord is with all of these keeps, with all of these town centers, Crackedy, where can you push in? Where can you do damage here?
It's a very, very tough position right now when you're playing up against the Red Palace. You need trebuchets against this. Bombards do work against the emplacements. Actually, no, they don't work against the emplacements. The emplacements for Jeanne d'Arc, the Red Palace emplacements for Jeanne d'Arc, they still have the full 10 tile of range. So they can actually, like the emplacement TCs and the emplacement keeps, they can take down the bombards. You need trebuchets. It's necessary. You cannot go for bombards.
Yeah, and I think Marine Lord, obviously, heeding your advice. We saw the elite upgrade come in. It looks like there's a decent amount of arranged mass over there for the Order of the Dragon. There were some horsemen trying to get us around, trying to take down some of the archers, but man, those things just fire too quickly. Those horsemen actually got picked off pretty quickly. Now, you did talk about trebuchets. MarinelorD's got about 4 in this particular area trying to take down keeps, even though necessarily Beasty should be going for them just because of the arbaletier upgrade. You saw that bombard just completely go to smithereens, and he queued up another.
Dawn at the moment looks like she died at some point. She's not being revived yet. Depending on her level, that might cost up to 1,000 gold right now to get her back out on the field. It's like it's MarinelorD right now can't really afford that. Market positions are still heavily contested at the moment. There's an Elsbach Palace covering one market. There's a cannon tower on the other market. There's a little bit of a fight between a sprinkled outpost and a red palace TC there. Villagers get found out with the keep going down. It's going to be a couple of villagers going down, but Beasty, he still has a very good villager count overall. It's not going to be too fussed about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's got about 125 villagers, and it just shows how tanky those villagers are, right? Core is looking at the sacred sites, both north and the south one. I think for MarinelorD, it's all about shoring up this south area. You know, the Elsbach Palace is a little bit in the southeast position, not necessarily helping with the sacred site. It was more so helping with that past gold node that was there. But this sacred site, now that there's no yellow keep in the vicinity, it might be ripe for the taking. And I know a particular hero that can take it, and that's Jeanne d'Arc. She should probably get over there.
Yeah, look at that. MarinelorD defending that sacred site. Now with another TC, it's going to be another red palace emplacement there. With that TC going up, it's going to be very tough for BC to take this position here. Looks like MarinelorD is now focusing on that Elsbach Palace. There's a relic inside, so it does have some extra boosting going on there. Also in range of a TC for emergency repair. Slowly but surely against 2 trebuchets. Without any repair, should be going down. It's going to take its time, though. It is going to be a while. Ram's also coming out now from MarinelorD. Might want to start trading here at some point in time. Horsemen's around on the archers. Doing a great job of picking them off.
Yeah, you know, for how much health those archers have, they're not able to get completely surrounded by the horsemen, but definitely you're going to decrease some of the archer count. You're going to make sure you don't get that critical mass. Now, Mangonel shot does come in for MarinelorD on the north side. Beasty doing a good job having a staggered rotation. Beasty with bombards on the south side takes down that Red Palace-esque town center. And now there's only that keep over there on the eastern side. This is going to be the contested place for battles going forward. Emergency repairs did go on that Elsbach Palace, but he does have only, I think, 2 trebuchets were firing on that Elsbach Palace. So again, with those emergency repairs, it'll take a while, but it just means you're not repairing other things, right? And you're so focused on that Elsbach Palace, which is on the southeastern part, where that sacred site is now the point of interest. That's what we should be talking about.
Dawn, able to get a lot of experience here, now on the front line again. Might be able to soon get up to the next level here on her journey. Just trying to push forward. Might want to get onto Jeanne here. Trying to pick off the arbaletier for now. Doing a good job with that. More horsemen coming in. Men-at-arms getting spawned out of thin air. Able to do some bonus damage against these spearmen. It's only going to be a matter of time until Jeanne is going to get upgraded now to level 4. It's a little bit late in the game for her to get upgraded, just because she wasn't always there when the fights were happening. But very soon she will be getting her hand cannon attack, and with that, she's going to gain a lot of additional power here.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought she was, if she wasn't going to be, or if she wasn't level 4 already, she was going to after that fight. But we do know there was a lot of downtime for Jeanne d'Arc. There was some deaths going on there. Now, MarinelorD is really just bent on trying to take down this Elsbach Palace. Emergency repairs does go away. He's funneling pretty much all of his military to this particular area to try to take that down. There is a nice gold node over there, so if he is able to take the Elsbach down, and it looks like if emergency repairs does not come back online soon, I think he's got a decent amount of time before he can queue into it, and now he cannot. That town center is now down, so now that he's able to take that, no emergency repairs are going to be there. Those trebuchets just have free reign.
exactly. It's going to go down. Behind all of this, the Sacred Side victory is going to be approaching. MarinelorD has held both Sacred Sides for the last minute. It's going to want to place an additional TC once again on that second Sacred Side, and is behind all of this pushing into BC space.
Yeah, and I think this is MarinelorD's real time to shine here with all of the army that he has. Beasty just got pop capped once again and does have units in the queue. He's going predominantly for spearmen and archers. Not really sure, just because those are elite gilded spearmen, 24 of them. We're going to see if it's enough between all of these horsemen, but horsemen more so looking for raids than anything else. You can see them going down to the south.
Beasty was liking incendiary shots here on his archers the entire time, so that's a lot of damage missed out on those archers. Jeanne d'Arc still not on the level 4 here. I feel like she must have gained enough experience by now from all of these fights. Takes down the spearman here. Still not there yet. Some raids trying to be done here by MarinelorD in BC space. Springle actually taking down some villagers there on the top side. Slowly but surely, these villagers will be going down. And MarinelorD takes a relic here. That's going to be his 4th relic.
Yeah, that's actually really huge, that 4-1. But now we're going to see another clash near more so Order of the Dragon territory. Arbalètre in the back from MarinelorD trying to fire on a lot of these spearmen, but no bonus damage to be had. These spearmen have a lot of HP. You can't just brute force through them with something like Arbalètre, and I think MarinelorD is starting to learn that. Look at that, 312 health. Unbelievable for spearmen. These spearmen act like, you know, they have just as much as elite knights do at this point, but trying to push the initiative now. He backs up to where the Red Palace-esque keeps are for MarinelorD on the eastern side. I really like MarinelorD's strategy here, what he's doing, because he has both sacred sites, and sometimes the best defense is a good offense. He's just trying to take battles in Order of the Dragon territory.
Level 4 has come in, ability gets used, so all of his units will now have some additional attack speed for a short time. Lots of attacks coming out from the Arbalètre. And Jeanne d'Arc, the next time she's going to be summoning units, it's going to be accompanied by a cannon, potentially. 3 champions and a cannon.
I don't know where that cannon comes from, but it does spawn right next to her. And we'll be able to rain. And of course, if Jeanne d'Arc, just because of the mobility, you can get back to particular areas where a cannon can just shoot down different kind of production buildings, economic buildings, stuff like that. And it will be going off in about a second if MarinelorD has the presence of mind to hit it. And also, it has another function as the button just got hit. That cannon's going to pop out. There it is. Pops out of nowhere. Going to be able to take down that outpost. And what Joan can also do, which they used prior in the beginning of this battle, was to increase attack speed by 35%. Those Arbalètre were able to do that in Imperial. Now with that damage bonus and the attack speed bonus, you're able to make quick work of 312 health spearmen.
There's a couple of villagers there in the bottom corner, just gathering wood for now. I feel like this is going to be a very, very deadly push that's going to be coming in here. Jeanne doing a lot of damage here with her cannon attack. Basically a mounted hand cannoneer at this point. With the ability also spawn in these units. And the cannon doing a great job here, just one-shotting the backline with the archers there from Beasty. Trying to take down the Arbalètre, but not able to. The front line is in its way. The Arbalètre just doing a lot of damage, and now the raids coming in on the wood lines as well. This distraction might be the last remaining thing that MarinelorD needs here in order to close the game out. And all of the sacred side ticking. 4 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining. I'm sorry. 5 minutes remaining on that, so still a little bit of time left, but it is still ticking in the back of Beasty's mind. And there's some more TCs coming out from MarinelorD. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 TCs out right now. That's a crazy amount.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is the best way that MarinelorD could have played it. You know, I mean, he's taking off offensive battles. He's doing all of this. So behind, he can make all those TCs. And with all of those TCs, that sacred timer going down to about 44 minutes and 30 seconds, Beasty has had quite enough of this Game 7. Jeanne d'Arc did reign supreme with her mounted hand cannon prowess of level 4. And MarinelorD will be taking Game 7